Yes,
okay, so right here on this table, we wish him a happy birthday. All right, let's move straight to our next conversation. A wave of changes has spread through the military hierarchy in Nigeria. In a move to strengthen the country's security architecture, President Bola Tinubu has sacked General Christopher Musa as the Chief of Defense Staff and appointed Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede as his replacement. President Tinubu also appointed Major General W. Shaibu as the Chief of Army Staff, Air Vice Marshal S.K. Aneke as the Chief of Air Staff, and Rear Admiral I. Abbas as the Chief of Naval Staff. The Chief of Defense Intelligence, Major General E.A.P. Ondiodeye, retains his position. In a statement by the presidential spokesperson, Sunday Dare, the president commended the outgoing service chiefs for their patriotic service and dedicated leadership and urged the new appointees to justify the confidence reposed in them. I mean, Tony, the president, yes, has sacked the service chiefs, new appointments, released. But what does this mean for national security?
Appointment and sack of service chiefs at the discretion of the president. I know he has his own reason, to have made this push, because a lot of things are happening in Nigeria at the moment, and it borders mostly on security. I can't read the present mind right now, but if you can read my mind, I think it's long overdue. You don't need them to stay for a year, 2 years, or a tenure of the president. If you're performing, it will show. And the president will have no reason whatsoever to tell you to face the exit door. Whatever happened, they are necessitated in their sack. I'm sure it's tangible enough, for that action by Mr. President. If me alone, if I have the opportunity, I would have done that like last year. Because I see these are people I see to like every week. I ask them what is going on, and if it's not in tandem with what I'm hearing or what I'm seeing, I don't need to retain you for too long. I appointed you for a reason. But if you look at what is going on in Nigeria right now, in terms of kidnapping, insecurity in some part of the country, and it continues.
You think nothing has changed?
No. It's not that not. I don't think. I think they did their best, but their best is not good enough. Their best is not good enough. You can't say a country where people die on a regular basis, and the people who are supposed to protect them are just seated there. I would have expected the change to have affected, to affect the police. Like the IG of police supposed to be touched. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's why I'm surprised that it was that, so it cuts the cross.
Well, the president has his reasons.
He has his reason. It has his prerogative. It's his prerogative to do so. He has it, and he can't tell us everything. He knows why he made that move. And I'm with him for it. Long overdue.
Now that we have this new appointment, what are your expectations?
But before that, because somebody who studied communication, I'm very particular about language used. Sunday I didn't use the word sack. I'm very particular about that, because if he said he would have sacked, the president would not be applauding the service to the nation. So I think the right language for you to use that, they have been replaced. Even though somebody says it's semantic, but there's what they call grammatical exactitude. If you want to be exact in the grammar used, sack may not actually bode well for what has happened.
When it comes to the headlines.
Exactly. Say what? Come on, that's sensational. But I'm just thinking language matters a lot. So if he's sacked, then we'll not be praising them. But I think I want to stay with, so don't forget, if somebody says semantics are not that, but I want to stay with replaced. Replaced is a better way to do it, but so that it will read the meaning. Some people will not read meanings to it. But having said that, I think now that you have new hands or new hands at the affairs of the respective units they've been. I mean, we have Navy. I think it's the only one. The
Navy, Air
Force ahead. So, but I think and for now there is a need for us to strengthen the security architecture, not just the military alone. The Tony has said, I mean, it should cut across because all of them are all related, including the paramilitary and NSCDC. Yeah, exactly, because it's a total, it's an infrastructure, we call it, it's also military infrastructure, we call it security infrastructure, because all of them, architecture and so they are all related. They are related. Service chiefs, they have their own way.
Maybe the president is saving the best for last.
Maybe, or maybe it's going to be a gradual thing, maybe not a whole hog. But for me, I think there has to be another look, a total overhaul if necessary. Because a lot of things, they're embarrassing the president, embarrassing his government, embarrassing us as a nation. I mean, a ragtag army holding the nation to ransom. And every time we have cause to go abroad, to go represent maybe either UN or all of that, we are always winning laurels. Okay, but how come within we are unable to even defeat the ragtag army? They look at people coming, even what do you call it? Bandits they are holding press conferences.
Do you think this is
holding press conference? The military is there.
Yes. Do you think this is related to maybe the coup threats?
Well, if the military said there was no coup, then I would rather I don't want to go over there. If they have told us that I want to rely on the military top brass to say there's no coup. So maybe remotely I wouldn't know, but for me, I want to kick that out of sight and focus on the issue of the one that we have been told, of course. So relying on that, what Tony has said is that good. We now have new hymns, on the affairs of those. So let us see how they can strengthen it and also have maybe joint military or of there, but we must have to give them another task to say, for the president can give them a timeline. Between now and now, let us begin to see the victory over this ragtag army and the rest of them.
They're coming with, they're expected to come with brand new
But they have been in the system again,
they've been in the
where they've been in the system too.
That seat. So they're expected, because they may have, they're freshers, you know. They may have been criticizing the people on the seat. The onus is on them. So now sit on that chair and give me results. And I don't think the president just appointed them. I'm sure
there might have been recommendations or something.
You know, you believed in them. So now they're on that chair. Maybe after it's been, you know, I'm sure they've assumed office. What the president wants from them is something new. Reduction in crime.
Yeah, crime. If not totally eliminated.
Needs to be reduced completely. Not completely. I know it's not easy.
It's not easy
across
the
economy of the world and all that. But we need to see that change. Nigeria, we need, of course. You want to travel, you want to feel, you know, you're not scared.
You feel safe.
It's not only when you fly, you know. So let's have those things in place. So you're coming to a new position. Nigerians we need to see them.
And I personally don't want to see initial gragra from them.
No, because it's usual.
Usually there's initial from the IG initial gragra, but once they settle down, action. Yes, exactly.
You know, action speaks.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's talk more action.
More action, no initial gragra. But even
as Charles said, General Musa has been speaking too much.
He's talking too much.
So,
I mean, he's been talking too much.
Less action.
I mean, I don't understand what you mean by he's talking too much.
Oh, you go over there. You will go over here, and then we will do this, and all that. But action
speaks louder than
words. But the actions did not match.
But anyway, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation. It is expected that new brooms should sweep cleaner. As such, President Bola Tinubu has urged the newly appointed chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Joash Amokwiton, to ensure transparency and non-violence polls as Nigeria prepares for the 2027 general elections. President Tinubu stressed that credible elections remain the foundation of public trust and democratic stability, urging Professor Amokwiton to uphold the integrity